AJ Dybantsa will stay at BYU for another season. Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy, but hear me out. AJ Dybantsa has some legitimate reasons to come back and play for BYU. Yeah, he could easily be the number one pick in the NBA draft. And sure, he could definitely get the largest rookie contract in NBA history. But that doesn't matter. Don't believe me? Let's get into it. Now, AJ Dybantsa teasing to come back to college isn't anything new. Cooper Flagg did this last year, literally saying, I want to come back with Duke, before he ended up leaving and going to the NBA draft, where he's been pretty productive with the Mavericks this season. But guess what? AJ Dybantsa is not like Cooper Flagg. He's coming back to BYU. All right, reason number one why AJ Dybantsa is going to stay at BYU doesn't even have much to do with him. It's all about his mom. Now, his mom wants him to come back and get a degree. And I'm guessing that the degree would probably be an associate's degree, which would be 1 more year at BYU, and not a bachelor's degree, which would be 2 to 3. Because, I mean, even for me, that's pushing it. At that point, AJ just go to the NBA. I also don't know what his degree would be in. From everything I've seen online, he's undeclared. And I mean, it makes sense. For college players who are planning on going to the NBA or the NFL or whatever pretty soon, you usually don't need to declare a major. And to be honest, there's no way in heck that AJ's ever going to use his degree. I mean, he's such a great basketball player. Why does he need a degree? It doesn't make much sense. But AJ isn't the type of guy to disrespect his parents, and his mom wants him to get a degree. I think that's a much bigger deal than people realize. All right, reason number two. This one's a little bit more straightforward. Kevin Young and the BYU coaching staff are going to be able to continue to prepare him for the NBA. And I know, right? It's like, that doesn't make sense. Wouldn't an NBA team maybe be possibly better at preparing him for the NBA since they're in the NBA? And I mean, it's a good point. The NBA has a bunch of coaches that are going to be able to continue to develop AJ Dybantsa. But you know what? AJ knows Kevin Young, and Kevin Young knows AJ. Now, there's a reason that AJ chose to come to BYU in the first place. Kevin Young has a ton of NBA coaching experience. He coached for the Philadelphia 76ers as an assistant from 2016 to 2020, and he was the assistant to the head coach for the Phoenix Suns from 2020 to 24. He was lined up to become one of the next head coaches in the NBA before he took the job at BYU. So yeah, AJ Dybantsa is pretty much getting the NBA experience at the college level with Kevin Young. And if he goes to the NBA, who knows where he's going to end up? There are a ton of just horrible NBA teams that are just waiting to scoop AJ Dybantsa right up, and that's probably not going to be great for him. The cool thing about college basketball is you get to choose where you want to play. And AJ Dybantsa chose BYU. If AJ Dybantsa stays, he's going to get continued coaching from a coach that he wants and a coach that knows the best way to help him because he's had a year of experience with him at the collegiate level. All right, reason number three. This one's big. AJ came into BYU last season hoping for a national championship, and it made sense. BYU had an amazing team. But by the end of the season, AJ Dybantsa was leading a team that was literally limping to the finish line. BYU was killed by injuries last season. Guys like Dawson Baker, Richie Saunders, Nate Pickens, all guys who were going to get significant minutes, were not able to play either most of the season or finish out the season strong. AJ's dream of national championship was completely dashed against Texas in the first round of March Madness in a game that he scored almost half of BYU's total points. 35 points scored by AJ, 36 scored by the rest of the team. And all because he just didn't have much support around him. But BYU is looking completely different for this upcoming season. They're keeping guys like Rob Wright, who's one of the best point guards in the nation, and Dawson Baker, who's going to be a huge veteran presence for BYU. And then they're literally upgrading at every other position. Guys like Tyler Betsy and Jake Walling from the transfer portal are providing depth, shooting, and defense. And not even to mention Bruce Branch, one of the top prospects in the high school class coming to BYU. Really, the only thing that BYU is missing is an AJ frickin' Dybantsa. If AJ comes back, BYU is definitely going to be one of the top contenders for national championship next season, and I guarantee you that's exactly what AJ wants. All right, reason number 4. If AJ goes to the NBA, he's going to get a lot of cash. I mean, we're talking a lot of cash, like $60 million plus. But hey, why get $60 million when you could get $15 million and come back to BYU? Okay, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But hear me out. If AJ comes back to college, I guarantee you that he is going to be the highest paid athlete at the collegiate level. BYU is going to cough up money. Ryan Smith, the owner of the Jazz and the Utah Mammoth, and a huge BYU fan, is going to cough up some money. The CEO of Crumble Cookie, for crying out loud, will cough up some money like he did when BYU rushed the field after beating Utah earlier this year. Now, I'm not saying that the money is going to convince him to come back, but I am saying that the money's not going to be a deciding factor. He's still going to get that NBA contract. It's just going to be a little down the road. And yeah, what if he gets hurt? That happens all the time to college athletes, and some guys do regret not taking opportunities because then they got hurt and missed out on that chance. But it's different for AJ Dybantsa. AJ is at such a high level of talent that no NBA team is going to want to pass up on him just because he's been injured and might take a little bit of time to get back to where he was at. When you're as talented as AJ Dybantsa, you're going to get bank, whether you've been injured or not. Now for reason number 5. This one's pretty simple. AJ Dybantsa likes BYU. He's totally accepted the community and culture that BYU has. The infamous BYU honor code that is known for being super strict in what BYU students can and cannot do is actually a plus for AJ. He loves being able to completely focus on basketball while not having to worry about some of the stuff that goes on at most college campuses. AJ is also super loyal and family oriented, which fits perfectly into BYU's values. And then, he's just having fun at BYU. He's been showing up to women's basketball games, football games, just cheering his heart out. And he even has a YouTube channel where he does fun challenges with his teammates. That kind of stuff is a lot harder to do at the NBA level. And finally, for reason number 6, if AJ comes back and leads this BYU team to a Final Four, he will be cemented as a BYU legend. No one fully expects him to come back. But if he does and leads this BYU team to a national championship, he's going to become a household name for BYU fans that don't even follow the sport. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it almost as much as you're going to enjoy AJ Dybantsa hooping for BYU basketball next season. Go check out my podcast, Hike the Y, if you want to hear more BYU sports and more AJ Dybantsa rumors. And definitely go check out some of our other videos. We have some pretty cool YouTube shorts. It'd also really help if you subscribe. That'd be awesome. Have a great day, y'all, and go Cougs.